Live from News 9 WALW. This is News 9's Wake Up Wisconsin.
Good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. on this, the 17th day of the month of May. And welcome to Wake Up Wisconsin. I'm Daniel Keith.
And I'm Molly Kowick. Man, where's May going?
Oh, it's going somewhere.
Speeding by. Let's get a look at our top stories from today. Next, the code red issued in Hawaii. Authorities are issuing a new alert for a giant ash cloud rising 12,000 feet into the air, a potential danger to residents and airplanes.
Plus, we now know what caused the fire at a historic church in Milwaukee. And, of course, Mimi is out with our live report this morning. Mimi.
Well, guys, coming up, I'll tell you why this is considered craft beer.
News 9 WAOW. We've got you covered.
Always with the best assignments, that Mimi Mitrovic.
She end up with them.
It's all right because we're hanging out, getting a little bit of the nice weather. A little bit. Chief Meteorologist Justin Lowe. Justin, keep it coming.
Well, it was a warm one yesterday, that's for sure. Yeah, and temperatures were the warmest of the year so far. Today it's going to be a little bit cooler, but I think you'll still like the weather as we head into the weekend. Take a look at some of these high temperatures from yesterday. 81 in Stevens Point. That was actually one of the cooler spots. 83 in Wausau, 87 in Rhinelander. We take a look now this morning, and got a couple of showers up in Ashland, Iron, and Vilas counties, and you might pick up a couple tenths of an inch in some of these spots. Maybe a little rumble of thunder as well over the next hour or so. But for most of the area, it is dry, and we will see a good amount of sunshine for today. We're talking about 54 to start off the day in Mosinee, 56 in Plover and in Waupaca. Kids heading out to the bus stop. Temperatures will be in the 50s for the most part, although 40s in the north and a few more clouds in the Northwoods. But most areas should have plenty of sunshine and temperatures in the low 70s. Another nice spring day and more nice weather on the way. Your 7-day outlook is coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Justin. Well, more trouble in the Aloha State as the volcano alert has been raised to red. That means a major eruption, even bigger than the ones they've already seen, could be imminent.
Now the state's governor is taking military action. He's forming a joint task force, putting the National Guard on standby to help with mass evacuations in case lava covers main roads. Locals say they're worried now more than ever.
I have anxiety about it, definitely. You know, born and raised here, so it's definitely a lot more scary.
Smoke plumes on the Big Island have sent debris billowing more than 12,000 feet into the air. Earthquakes and toxic gases related to the eruptions are other big concerns, in addition to the lava damage. And these before and after satellite images on Hawaii's Big Island show damage from lava flows in the area surrounding the Kilauea volcano. These pictures are of the Leilani Estates, which is a residential community. Volcanic rock now covers asphalt. Trees and vegetation have burned and homes were turned to ash. The volcano has been erupting now for almost 2 weeks.
Powerful images right there. Well, here at home, a brush fire spreads and burns down a barn near Merrill. Happened on Joe Snow Road in the township of Scott. Authorities say the owner was burning brush when the fire just got out of control. A small barn was destroyed and a nearby garage was damaged by the blaze. Nobody was hurt in the fire. And a brush fire broke out along a busy stretch of highway in Wausau. It happened between Stewart Avenue and 29 West. Nobody was hurt, and the cause of that fire remains under investigation.
Time right now is 6:03. It looks like heating tools caused a fire that destroyed a historic church in downtown Milwaukee. Fire officials say the tools were on scaffolding that may have ignited the roof of Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church. The fire caused an estimated $13 million in damage to the structure and another $4 million in damage to items inside.
Well, this morning, a Portage County business is named one of the best places in the state for young professionals to work.
Skyward in Stevens Point received the Bubbler Award. It showcases companies that feature competitive salaries and benefit opportunities for advancement and community engagement. Other winners of the award include Greenheck in Schofield and Forward Bank in Marshfield.
Well, there are about 6,000 breweries in America, and this week is their week.
The Brewers Association marked the occasion American Craft Beer Week. And we find News 9's Mimi Mitrovic live at Bull Falls Brewery this morning. Mimi, having some fun?
As always, Molly, and this is the 13th year of the week, and in the Badger State alone, there's over 50 craft breweries. And with me this morning, I have Bull Falls owner Mike. Now, Mike, you've been in the business and you've been crafting your own beer for over a decade. So what makes a beer a craft beer?
Craft beer is generally known as a small independent craft brewer using his innovation techniques to create to create beers.
And then over the years, how has craft brewery changed?
Well, craft breweries have changed dramatically in that, and actually, I might say, there's 154 Wisconsin breweries right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, a lot
way
more than 50. You know, beer is about discovery. And here, I like to say our brewery is kind of like a kitchen. I mean, we make small batches of beer. They're all by hand. And this distinguishing mark here is the seal that proves that this beer was produced by a small craft brewer. Many people have heard that the large brewers are buying up small craft brewers and the ownership changes. And oftentimes the production of those beers moves off-site. So the public has been confused somewhat. And this seal clears up the confusion. So this is the brand new seal by the Brewers Association that we now start to put on our products so that people know what they're buying.
So for people who love craft beers, they need to look for that label to know that it is pure and that
Pure
they're
craft.
getting what they're asking for.
Correct.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Mike. And, of course, we'll have more coming up in the next half hour. Dan, Molly, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Mimi. Always getting to the bottom of our burning questions here on Wake Up Wisconsin. We appreciate it. And that is really interesting. I was actually having a conversation with someone recently about how do you determine what's a craft beer. Now I'll know what to look for.
Yeah,
in
that
bottles.
the little upside down bottom.
Yeah, it's
Very
pretty
good.
cool. Time right now is 6:06. Prepare for a little cooler weather today.
Plus, America's newest internet debate, is it Laurel or Yanny?
Laurel.
I have my own answer. Hear for yourself coming up.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I know this was short notice, but we felt this was pretty important to make sure we get out right away. Especially you guys tuning in live, we appreciate that as well. As most of you know, there's been some audio that's been going around, confusing audio. People are unsure what they're hearing out there. It's been going across the city of Tucson and actually across the nation as well. Our office has been investigating these audio sounds, specifically our public information office. What we've determined right now is that the audio sound that you've been hearing is actually the name Laurel, not Yanny.
It's the dress and the shoe controversy all over again, but this time, instead of looking at something, we are listening to something. The internet erupted in disagreement this week over an audio clip in which the name being said, it really depends on who's hearing it.
Yes, some people hear Laurel and others hear Yanny.
Even House Speaker Paul Ryan is weighing in on the debate.
I'd like to declare something that is just so obvious. It is Laurel and not Yanny, all right? Come on. How many Laurel fans here, huh?
All right, so far, a couple of votes for Laurel. Yeah.
All right, now we want you to tell us what you hear. Take a listen.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Come on, it's Yanny. How do you
I hear Laurel, but I heard Laurel at first. Earlier this morning when you played it again, I heard Yanny, and now I'm hearing Laurel.
I can't even hear Laurel right now. Justin, what did you hear?
Yanny.
Oh, man over here. The first one in the newsroom.
I don't know if you guys are going to be saying, my man.
I want to know. I want
When
to
you
ask
hear
our
this next tidbit.
producer. Sherja, what do you hear? That's our producer. She hears Laurel.
Well, that is interesting. An interesting kind of scientific thing. A professor of speech, language, and hearing at the University of Arizona thinks that it is most likely Laurel. But
Hey, guys.
if you're on the internet trying to debate this, probably have too much time on your hands.
Team Yanny, though. That's all I'm saying. Done. Team Yanny.
Time right now is 6:11. Already number one, our athlete of the week strives to beat her personal best.
Plus, I'll be in with today's forecast. It's really greening up out there, isn't it? You're watching Wake Up Wisconsin.
Now, your Storm Track 9 weather.
Heavy flooding in the Bluegrass State this morning as several people were rescued from flash flooding in Kentucky. Officials say they are still figuring out how many homes are now damaged because of the flash flood. But they say it is at least 4 in that particular neighborhood.
Seems like all the whole country's kind of dealing with something right now, but we've been getting nothing but nice weather out here.
Yeah, we have. You know, I mean, sometimes in the early spring or in the fall, most of the country can be real quiet, you know, but you get into May and June, there's almost always some sort of flooding or some sort of severe weather. It happens all the time.
Let's try to keep it out of our area.
I mean, earlier in the newscast, yesterday was the one-year anniversary of that EF3
tornado in Chetek. Yeah, that's right. But we haven't had hardly any severe weather yet, which is good news. Yeah. We don't want to get too dry, but we can avoid the severe weather. That'd be great, too. Take a look here at the scene in Kentucky this morning. It has dried up for the most part. Got a little heavier rain over to the west in Arkansas this morning. That's about it as far as precipitation goes. And in Wisconsin, it's pretty dry as well. The spot that needs some rain is getting some rain this morning up in far northern parts of the state. Yeah, it's a lot drier in the Northwoods, where you've been kind of missing out on most of the rain so far this spring, this month of May. But some scattered showers, even a couple of thunder showers moving through parts of Vilas County, Eagle River. You're going to get a little drop of rain or two there. And also back toward Highway 51, Mercer, and down toward the Lac du Flambeau area. It looks like a little bit of rain this morning, maybe for the next hour or so. In Land O'Lakes, our Skycam view showing a little bit of sun, but those dark clouds just off to the horizon. Maybe most of that rain a little bit south of Land O'Lakes, but a little bit north of Eagle River there in Vilas County. And the temperatures have started to fall in the Northwoods. Look at this. 3 degrees colder than yesterday at this time in Eagle River, and 5 degrees colder in Rhinelander. It's warmer across central Wisconsin than what we started the day yesterday, but kind of odd. It's actually going to turn out cooler this afternoon. Yeah, temperatures are in the 50s right now. 55 in Wausau, 56 in Marshfield, 57 in Wisconsin Rapids. But notice the cooler air to the northeast, and that cool area is going to move in on easterly winds today. So that's what's going to really keep things just a little bit cooler. In Wausau currently, as I mentioned, 55 degrees. That's our new low for the morning now. East-northeast wind at 7 miles an hour. So 55 for the low, 72 for the high. That's still above normal. So I don't want to hear any complaints that it's cooler out today, because 73 in Marshfield, 73 in Wisconsin Rapids this afternoon with a lot of sunshine is great weather for this time of year. Not as warm as yesterday, of course, but it is great weather. Some spots in the north staying in the 60s for today, so definitely will feel more like spring than summer. 70 in White Lake, 71 in Merrill, and our future track really not showing too much going on. We have those showers in the Northwoods this morning, and mostly sunny this afternoon. Mainly clear for tonight, and tomorrow, once again, a lot of sunshine. It's going to be a great day. Now, a little storminess is going to try to work into our area as we head into the weekend, but the odds of rain are looking a little bit less. We might see most of the activity stay a little bit farther off to our south and west. 72 in the city here for today, so low 70s, pretty nice. Dropping into the 40s for tonight. Mainly clear. It'll be a little bit cool out there. And then mostly sunny tomorrow. Beautiful day, a high of 75. Just a little breezy for tomorrow. And then 74 on Saturday. Most of the day is looking good. It should be comfortable temperatures to get outside. It's late in the day that we still have a small chance for a shower or storm. And then Sunday, still that small chance for a couple of scattered showers. 67, a little cooler on Sunday, but it will be getting back up into the 70s early next week.
Wake Up Birthdays, brought to you by Marshfield Mall's Free Farm Playland.
Ava Jo is getting us started today. She's celebrating birthday number 4.
Kipton Schreiner is partying it up for his 7th birthday.
Mason Pompo just took his 11th trip around the sun.
And I know you want to get a birthday on the air. Well, if you do, you just got to send an email to birthdays@waow.com. Send it in 2 weeks in advance, maybe a pronunciation guide if you have a tricky name, and then you can tune in to Wake Up Wisconsin around 6:20 to see your birthday on TV.
Now, your News 9 Sports.
Well, like many of the most gifted athletes, our athlete of the week has an insatiable desire to win and to win big. There's a good chance you've heard of her. Little name Brooke Jaworski of Wausau West has been dominating since she came on the scene. Jaworski already has a slew of wins under her belt from this track season, which has now extended to the outdoors arena. In fact, she won all 4 events she ran in Tuesday night, but that's not good enough. She says she wants to break her already state record time in the 400 again this year. Being the best isn't good enough. She said she still needs to get better.
Something that I always keep in my mind is Eye of the Tiger, always staying hungry, always working your hardest day in and day out, and every time I step on the track, I just want to get better.
Brooke's one of those once-in-a-lifetime athletes that the coaching staff and I have said, you know, we have to appreciate every time she runs, because this doesn't happen to, well, anybody in the state of Wisconsin.
Fantastic accomplishments there. Time right now is 6:25. Fun in the Sun takes on a scientific twist at Stevens Point, plus the weirdest of the weird royal wedding souvenirs up next.
And when you see news or want to share pictures or video, go to News 9's Facebook page. You can like our page to stay on top of breaking news or weather. Live from News 9 WALW, this is News 9's Wake Up Wisconsin.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to Wake Up Wisconsin on this Thursday. I'm Daniel Keith.
And I'm Molly Kowick. Let's check out our top stories. An annual tradition hits close to home as one police department honors fallen officers.
Plus, hundreds of kids spend the day at a dairy farm learning all about the process. And Mimi, what are you working on today?
Well, guys, craft breweries across the country are celebrating this week, and we find out what it's like to be a part of it.
News 9 WAOW. We've got you covered.
Time right now is 6:30, and at this bottom of the second hour of Wake Up, we do want to get it started with Chief Meteorologist Justin Lowe. Justin, it seems like a good day if you're going to have a cold one. Might not want to be at the bar, but outside.
Outside, yeah, craft brewery week, you know, and it's nice weather. We've had real nice weather most of this month of May.
It's been fantastic.
Today is not going to be quite as warm as yesterday, but it's still going to be nice for this time of year. Let's take a look at our radar and satellite view this morning. Where do we see the scattered clouds? Mainly in the Northwoods, and a couple of showers for folks up in Iron County and Vilas County. If you're watching now in Eagle River this morning, you know, a couple drops of rain, nothing too tremendous, but just enough to wet the roadways just a little bit there in Vilas County. And temperatures have cooled down quite a bit to the north. 45 right now in Crandon, 47 in Antigo, and 48 in Rhinelander. And that cooler air is moving into central Wisconsin. Take a look at this. We've got northeast winds developing about 5 to 10 miles an hour this morning, and those will continue through the day. So that's going to keep it a little bit cooler than yesterday, but 72, I'm not going to complain about that. We'll have mostly sunny skies this afternoon and some nice weather for the weekend as well. For the most part, your 7-day outlook is coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Justin. Well, fallen officers were remembered in Marshfield as part of National Police Week. The Marshfield Police Association held its annual event looking back at those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but this year hits close to home.
Yeah, News 9's Courtney Sherlecki has the story.
Last year, 134 law enforcement officers were killed in the line of duty.
A touching tribute.
2 of those 134 heroic officers taken too soon were from our great state of Wisconsin.
Honoring Everest Metro Detective Jason Weiland, killed last year in a shooting rampage. And a Wisconsin State Trooper.
Anthony Joseph Borostowski, badge number 2603.
As dozens of community members sat by in support.
It's wonderful to see everybody out here, and we're just absolutely amazed at the turnout.
While it's been decades since a Marshfield police officer died in the line of duty,
we never forget the sacrifice our very own Marshfield police officer Fred A. Beal made for the city of Marshfield on August 5th, 1933.
The ceremony still touches many.
You know, after 21 years of being a police officer, it still chokes me up.
Bottom line is, we are all gathering together and remembering the sacrifices that those who have been killed in the line of duty, the sacrifice they paid. It's definitely, like I said, a very humbling experience.
And no matter how near or far,
for that sacrifice, I say thank you and rest easy, heroes.
When a brother in blue is lost,
we will hold the line from here.
They all feel it.
It's a family, it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood of officers who are committed to doing whatever it takes to keep their community safe.
In Marshfield, Courtney Terlecki, News 9 WAOW.
Now, 2 officers also received awards for their work in de-escalating situations, which led to peaceful endings.
Well, names have been released in a deadly shooting involving Clark County Police. State investigators say officers shot and killed a 51-year-old Kelly Jean Abbott from Black River Falls on Friday. Happened during a traffic stop, and police say Abbott got out of his car and flashed a gun. He then exchanged fire with a Clark County deputy and a loyal police officer, and that was Deputy Nicholas Clem and Officer Jacob Shar. Both have been placed on administrative leave, as is standard, while a state investigation is conducted. And we are also learning what caused the death of a man found in a motel closet in Marathon County. Autopsy results showed 28-year-old Brian Keenist died of an accidental drug overdose. His body was found in a closet at the Village Inn Motel in Marathon City nearly a month ago. Now, he was reported missing in November 2017. The authorities say the Adams County man was known to be in the Marathon City area during the week of Thanksgiving, but no other details have been released.
A 25-year-old faces charges for posing as a 17-year-old, all to play high school basketball. Texas officials say Sydney Gilstrap Portley lied about being displaced after Hurricane Harvey and played on the high school squad. He was caught by an old coach at a game, and he's charged with felony tampering of government records. Plus, police are also investigating whether he had a relationship with a 14-year-old girl.
Time right now is 6:34. Here in our area, students unveil a new book about Wisconsin's cultural history. DC Everest students spent the past 2 years collecting immigration stories, and during this ceremony at the Green Heck Education Center in Weston, visitors also watched an award-winning documentary put together by 2 students. It focuses on the arrival of Hmong families in Wausau more than 40 years ago and the conflicts that arose when attempts were made to racially balance the city's elementary schools.
We wanted to delve more deeper into our culture and our people and the struggles we had within our little community.
Really fun going around the Wausau community and interviewing past school board members or retired teachers who were part of the controversy and seeing their own opinions and their takes on the thing.
Their documentary on the partner school idea has qualified for the National History Day competition. That takes place in Maryland.
And students from across the state flex their renewable energy muscles in Stevens Point. Wisconsin Public Service hosted the 22nd annual Solar Olympics at UWSP. Students built solar cookers, had solar car races, and played Jeopardy! They ran into trials and tribulations with their projects along the way, but took their experience in stride.
Well, in the middle of the farming crisis, hundreds of 4th graders are learning about what it takes to be a farmer and where their food comes from. More than 400 elementary school students spent their day at a farm in Wood County. There were various stations set up throughout the farm. It gave students a chance to see all the parts of the farm.
As we know, consumers and people in the community are getting further and further away from the farm. Kids just don't have that interaction anymore. Growing those kids into what might be future farm owners and workers is very important for us.
Well, the 4th graders were taught by high school students as part of the Future Farmers of America program.
Beer culture is on tap this week for the 13th year of American Craft Beer Week, and a Wausau brewery is getting in on the celebration.
Yeah, News 9's Mimi Mitrovic is out live at Bulls Falls Brewery, also the luckiest reporter in America right now. How's it going, Mimi?
Well, Dan, you know, you are pretty jealous. You've been telling me all morning. But the most important part is that this week is for breweries like Bull Falls to showcase their brews out to the community. And with me this morning is Mike, one of the owners. Now, Mike, you are competing with more than 100 breweries in the state. How do you keep up?
Well, it's kind of a principle where all ships rise, and we're developing and moving pallets in a new direction. So me and my fellow craft brewers are making this happen. We're kind of a kindred spirit group. We work together and we promote local community events all over the state where all the other breweries are as well. So for us, it's really truly about local and making a fresh product. And when you're close to a brewery, you're going to be guaranteed it's going to be fresh and it's going to be good.
All right, well, we can't do a beer story without some tasting.
Right. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, me too. All right, and so where do you see craft brewery going in the future?
I see innovation in craft beer continuing to happen, and you know, craft beer is really truly about discovery. And when people discover the value of drinking a nice craft beer, which is loaded and bursting with flavor, they tend to convert.
All right. Well, happy Craft Beer Week to you and the rest of the breweries in the state. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Prost.
Yeah, Dan's going to be jealous. Dan, Molly, back to you.
Mimi, just so you know, I do have my bottle of water right here, okay? So it's just fine.
Cheers.
So raising it to you.
Thanks, Mimi. Time right now is 6:38. With the royal wedding fast approaching, the only brewery in Windsor, England, has decided to make a special beer in honor of the occasion, and they made it using American hops. The pale ale is called the Windsor Knot, and it's made from a combination of British and American hops, honoring the union of British royalty and the American actress, along with some celebratory champagne yeast.
Well, now that's not the only company that has released products inspired by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding celebration.
CNN's Jeannie Mose checks out the ever-growing list for a royal tea.
With Harry and Meghan about to say, I do, some are saying, I can't take it. Their faces are plastered on everything from creepy party masks to Pez dispensers to a hairy air freshener, mango scented. There have been costume contests.
Everybody is going to London with us.
And look-alike contests. The winners of the EasyJet competition got free flights for a year. And TV anchors seem fascinated with wearing that half a hat, the Fascinator.
Oh, and it's looking really
what?
Groovy.
Oh, groovy.
Oh, look.
It's going to my head. Eve Barry on New York's 57th Street is seeing a boom thanks to the Royals.
How much is this one? 62.
And if you don't wear hats, how about a personalized swimsuit graced with Harry and Meghan? Hope the beard doesn't scratch. Deluged with royal trivia, we've learned the names of horses that will pull the royal carriage, Storm and Tyrone, father and son, and the names of guests.
Elton John has been invited, and so have members of the Spice Girls.
But maybe you haven't heard the name Crown Jewels Condoms, promising a royal union of pleasure. And featuring patriotic music when you open the box, you can buy a life-size royal cutout or bang this drum. There will soon be Royal Pot, Markle Sparkle Marijuana, marketed by a cannabis-growing nephew of Meghan's. And how about a bowl of cereal while watching the nuptials? Harry and Meghan's wedding rings breakfast cereal. Slip one of those on her finger, Harry. Jeannie Mo, CNN, New York.
Dan's shocked by this story, but I actually think it's pretty cool. Now that we've got the internet, we can see just how creative the whole world is. Some of those ideas were pretty good.
They were good. I just don't get it.
Like the wedding ring cereal. You just
okay,
sit there eating your wedding ring cereal while you're watching the royal wedding.
At 6 a.m. only here.
On Newsline now. Time right now is 6:40. Significant damage in numerous states after heavy storms pounded the East Coast and Mid-Atlantic.
And a dump truck crashes and bursts into flames. You got to watch the video when we get back.
This Saturday morning, starting at 5 a.m. Eastern, Robin Roberts and David Muir have your all-access pass to the Royal Wedding. And GMA is right there live all week. And with Robin and Michael at Windsor Castle. Celebrate the Royal Wedding on ABC.
Now, your Storm Track 9 weather.
Well, right now, the fire risk in central Wisconsin is high. You can see the majority of our area is in yellow. And as we move farther north, we shift to orange, meaning that the risk is very high. Justin, I'm going to guess that the dry weather is kind of causing these conditions?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You know, the southern part of the state has had all the rain. You know, the southern half of our area so far this month of May. And the Northwoods has been pretty dry.
Yeah.
Hardly any rainfall in the Northwoods.
Not even really humid days either.
Yeah, not too many. That's right. Thankfully, you know, from the winter season, you know, there's enough moisture in the ground. Everything's green right now.
Okay.
But we can't go for too many more weeks without much rain, without things turning a little brown.
Still dry spots out there, you know.
Yeah. So be careful. I know a lot of people getting outside, grilling out and doing different things, campfires. Just got to be careful, you know. And let's take a look here at the extended outlook, first at our jet stream pattern for next week. And really, this is a pattern that's fairly dry. We've got to kind of hope that a little bit of this jet stream energy from the central mountain states eventually drifts into our area. But for the most part, the main branch of the jet stream is to our north, so not bringing many storms on through. So not too many opportunities for rain over the next week or so, but we could have a little bit. Temperatures will likely stay above normal, as you can see from our Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14-day outlook as we head into the Memorial Day weekend holiday season. It looks like much of the country, good chance it's going to be above normal. Precipitation-wise, the heaviest in the southeast, but a little bit of that rain from the Central Plains eventually could sneak up here into Wisconsin's possibility, so it doesn't look like a total, complete drought out there. We do, in fact, have a little bit of rainfall this morning in the Northwoods, locations that have been missing out on the rain. Had a few showers and thunderstorms yesterday, a couple of showers this morning, but as you can see, the diminishing trend over the last hour or so, and these are really going to fade away over the next, say, 30 minutes or so. And then the rest of the day is looking pretty sunny like it is in Rudolph, from the Think Academy this morning. Really looking green there from all that rain earlier in the month. 57 in Wisconsin Rapids, 52 in Medford, and 50 in Merrill. Pretty mild across central Wisconsin, but notice it's in the 40s to the northeast here. Crandon at 44 degrees, so quite a bit cooler. And we are seeing an east to northeast wind developing, so that's going to bring in that cooler air for today. Cooler than yesterday, but still nice for this time of year. Currently in the city, 55 with that east-northeast wind at 7 miles an hour. The pressure is rising. That usually means it's going to be a pretty fair day, and that will be the case for today. 83 yesterday, the warmest day of the year. Today, 72, still 5 degrees above normal, and we won't be very close to the record, which was set back in 1987, 87 degrees. Adams at 74 for today, 73 in Stevens Point. Cooler than yesterday, but still very comfortable. Only in the upper 60s in a few spots in the Northwoods like Minocqua and Rhinelander, so you will feel temperatures more like spring. A few scattered clouds in the north early on, and then we should see a pretty good amount of sunshine this afternoon and pretty clear for tonight. And tomorrow, again, not much change. High pressure still keeping things kind of dry. Now, there is a cold front coming in from the northwest and a little bit of moisture over the plains, a little bit trying to sneak up from the south. Will it all come together on Saturday? Well, the odds are looking a little bit less for that precipitation over the weekend. So if you do have some outdoor plans, maybe MDA ride on Saturday, it's looking a little bit better. 72 for the high here in the city today, down into the 40s for tonight. So kind of cool with clear skies. Tomorrow back up to 75. Hard to complain about that for the middle of May. Just a little breezy on Friday. And then Saturday, it's late in the day that we could see a shower or storm, but now that chance is down to 30%. Same thing on Sunday. Just a small chance as it looks now for a couple of showers. And there's a slight chance on Monday we could see some rain, but then it will be warming up again into the 70s for the middle of next week.
All right, thanks, Justin. The National Weather Service just confirmed 2 EF1 tornadoes touched down in southern Connecticut on Tuesday.
Yeah, those powerful storms that battered parts of New England with heavy wind and baseball-sized hail now claimed at least 5 lives. You can see here, roads are impassable in southwestern Connecticut, and officials say more than 80,000 customers are still without power. The town of Brookfield was one of the hardest hit.
Virtually 85% of our town is without power. Every single road has downed trees and downed wires. I haven't seen one road that hasn't been affected.
And crews say it could be several days before power is fully restored.
Caught on camera, a Florida woman describes the scary moment when lightning struck her neighbor's home. Cindy Holt's surveillance camera captured a bolt of lightning exploding on a roof across the street from her home. Hearing the boom, she thought her boyfriend, who was pulling into the driveway at the same time, had crashed.
It was huge. It shook the house. I mean, because when he come in, I thought he had actually hit the garage door.
Firefighters think the home's electrical system is fried. There were several scorch marks on the roof and around the light near the garage door.
The fury of Mother Nature. Well, Texas traffic cameras captured the fiery aftermath of a dump truck crash. Authorities say it happened after a car stopped in the middle of the highway and backed them up. A dump truck driver following behind the car swerved to avoid the vehicle and crashed into the center barrier, causing the truck to just catch on fire. Remarkably, the dump truck driver was not hurt in that crash. Unbelievable. The driver of the car was hospitalized, but is expected to survive.
Closer to home in Milwaukee, new video shows the moment a county transit bus slammed into a building on the Marquette University campus. Take a look. This surveillance video shows the bus in the seconds before the crash. It appears to accelerate as it reaches the intersection of Wisconsin Avenue. Now, unable to make the turn, it slams through a tree and into Johnson Hall.
I was scared it was going to take a left turn and just hit like in between the building and the trees and just keep going because I didn't know if the brakes were out, whatever. I jumped up and kind of dipped into the street.
3 passengers and the driver were all taken to the hospital but are expected to be okay. And it was a rough day on the water for one sailboat in Duluth, Minnesota. The boat went sideways and the sail slammed into a lift bridge, causing the boat's mast to snap in half. The boat was on the lake for the kickoff of sailboat races in Duluth. No one was hurt.
Time right now is 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. More people in our state fall ill to an E. coli outbreak.
Plus, spiders trained to jump on command. Ugh, that story still ahead.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, new allegations that some of Michael Cohen's financial records have disappeared. The New Yorker reporting a law enforcement official was the person who leaked some of the records. Ronan Farrow joins us live this morning with all the details, only on GMA.
Let's get a look at our top stories. Tonight, the Wausau community will find out what lurks in the soil underneath Thomas Street.
The testing comes as construction on the project is set to continue. Both the city and residents performed separate tests, and the latest findings will be released. That meeting is set for 5:30.
Governor Scott Walker will be in Wausau today, 2 days after applications opened for the new child tax credit. Walker will be at Fleet Farm to encourage families to apply. The credit is worth $100. The child must have been under the age of 18 on December 31st, 2017. They also have to be a Wisconsin resident. Claims can be made online with the Department of Revenue.
Well, state wildlife leaders want a public hearing on Governor Walker's regulations to stop the spread of chronic wasting disease, a fatal brain disease in deer. Earlier this month, Walker plans to ban the movement of dead deer from CWD affected counties. He also wants to require deer farms to have more fencing on their properties. The DNR says no hearing date is set, but they hope it's going to happen in June.
We have a health alert for you this morning. 3 people in our state have now come down with E. coli from tainted romaine lettuce grown in Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, the CDC confirmed nearly 24 more people have gotten sick nationwide. That brings the total to more than 170 confirmed cases. Officials say lettuce from Yuma should all be expired by now, but you should still double check where your lettuce was grown just to be safe.
Names have been released in a deadly shooting involving Clark County Police. State investigators say officers shot and killed a 51-year-old Kelly Jean Abbott from Black River Falls on Friday. It happened during a traffic stop, and police say Abbott got out of his car and flashed a gun. He then exchanged fire with a Clark County deputy and a loyal police officer. Deputy Nicholas Clem and Officer Jacob Shar have been placed on administrative leave, which is standard, while a state investigation is conducted.
And we are also learning what caused the death of a man found in a motel closet in Marathon County. Autopsy results show 28-year-old Brian Keenest died of an accidental drug overdose. His body was found in a closet at the Village Inn Motel in Marathon City nearly a month ago. He'd been reported missing since November 2017. Authorities say the Adams County man was known to be in the Marathon City area during the week of Thanksgiving, but no other details have been released.
12 states allow investigators to use other people's DNA to help find criminals.
Yep, and Wisconsin, it's one of them. While witness statements may not always have been 100% and people's recollections can fade over time, UW Stevens Point Chief Tony Babel says DNA is 100%. He says the ultimate goal to crack cases by using family DNA is to provide closure for victim families.
They run it through the normal CODIS system. If it doesn't come back as a match, they do have the ability now to run it through for a close match, which would be a family member, and that would create some investigative leads for the detective to follow up on.
And tonight at 10 News 9's Nina Paholke will take a deeper look at how genealogy websites help investigators get bad guys off the streets.
A man who trained dogs to sniff out explosives is now turning their noses to bugs.
Yeah, for nearly 25 years, Scott Linder trained canines. But since he retired, his passion to teach dogs never goes away. Instead of training dogs to fight crimes, he's now training dogs to sniff out those pesky bed bugs. Doherty is just one of 2 dogs at Linder's training facility in Evansville that can quickly detect bugs where exterminators sometimes take an hour to find.
You hear about them more and more and such. So basically what we did is just went from training for explosive odors to training for one odor, and that's the bed bug.
And his passion to teach dogs to detect bed bugs started after a family member was bit by the pesky critter at a hotel.
Spiders are creepy enough, but what about a jumping one?
Yeah, for the first time, scientists have trained this spider to jump on command. It's not like training a dog. So how do you train an arachnid, I guess? They manually moved the spider from one platform to another repeatedly. Eventually, the spider was conditioned to make the jump herself. The team said once she started jumping, well, believe it or not, she never missed.
That's great. She can jump in that cage all she'd like, as long as it is in the cage and not anywhere near me.
Cool looking spider, though.
Pretty spectacular video, that's for sure. Slow-mo video. Yeah, but if you're afraid of spiders, you don't like seeing that.
No, thank
That's
you.
right. Well, I hope no one's afraid of school kids around the area. Yeah, because I've got a picture here to show from Burnham Wood yesterday.
Let's play. Where's Justin?
Yeah, well, in the back this time.
That's where he always is.
Well, no, last week I was in the front. Yeah.
Burnham Wood, 3rd grade. Very
yeah,
good.
3rd graders we had a fun time talking about all the great weather. Of course, everyone was excited to see all that great weather around the area. The warmest day of the year so far. And today it's going to be a little bit cooler. We are monitoring a couple of showers as well in the Northwoods. As you can see, it's kind of diminishing though. So a little bit in Vilas County here, Northern Forest County, a few sprinkles yet, but that's diminishing, and the rest of the day is looking dry. But it will be a little bit cooler. This morning, 53 right now in Stevens Point, 54 in Wausau, 47 in Antigo. that east to northeast wind bringing in those 40-degree temperatures this morning. But it should still reach the lower 70s for this afternoon. So if you want to grill out, hey, not too bad. Just be mindful that the fire danger is a little bit high, so be careful when you're grilling. 72, a lot cooler than yesterday, but still above normal for this time of year. And tomorrow, high around 75. Great day. And just small chances of rain now, it looks like, for the weekend. Later Saturday, maybe on Sunday, could see a couple of showers or a thunderstorm.
All right, thanks so much, Justin. Looking forward to the nice weather the next couple of days. And thank you for watching. We hope you have a great day. Our coverage will, of course, continue at 11.